Hello everyone and welcome to our theater. My name is Sean Collins, and depending on how this goes tonight, I either am or am not responsible for what you're about to witness. Firstly, I wanted to say a few words before we kick things off. You're probably wondering, why is it that I'm talking to you this way when I'm literally standing right there? Things going by. Well, I thought the best way that I could honor what's been going on in the last year and a half would be to talk to you electronically. You're not sick of that yet, right? It is wonderful to see so many familiar faces in the audience tonight. I mean, I pre-recorded this. I hope there are familiar faces now. I can't actually see you. The play that you're about to see is the first of its kind at Marif, in English anyway. It is the culmination of many months of...
Mr. What does operation mean? I searched in Google, I got the French explanation of it. I didn't understand.
It's being subjugated by others in some way or the other.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Do you feel oppressed by me?
Yeah, what can I do?
Good. Sorry about that. The play is a culmination of many months of hard work on behalf of both our students and our staff. I would like to take this opportunity now to put their names on the screen for you to appreciate. I want to switch gears now and talk a little bit about the Herbal Animal Shelter, which we hope that you will all join us in supporting tonight. Thank you very much and enjoy the show.
Okay, me from the present now would also like to welcome Miss Renee to the stage to talk a little bit about the Herbal Animal Shelter. She's here, you may clap. Good lights. Welcome. A little further. You could have done a video to it, just saying.
Hi everybody, how are you? I'm from the Herbal Animal Shelter. We are the first and only legitimate animal shelter in Kurdistan. We are currently home to over 350 dogs.
We have a video.
We're currently home to over 350 dogs that we care for medically, feeding water every day. We receive countless calls, emergency rescue calls daily. Unfortunately, the shelter...
In August, my wife and I actually visited the shelter. This is my video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
It's in Iraq. In all of Iraq, there's hundreds of thousands of these stray dogs here. I'm Renee from the United States. I am shelter manager here and in charge of taking care of all the dogs. Currently, we have over 160, and at the moment, we're only taking emergency cases. We're really only allocated for about 70 dogs. So 160 is a great amount, and challenges are endless every day. The shelter has been open for just over a year. It is the first and only legitimate shelter in Iraq. The land was given to us by the government at a very low cost. So this is actually government property for the NGO. It has come a long way. War Paws is one of it's the primary funder for Herbal Animal Shelter. And with Animals of Kurdistan NGO and War Paws, this went from a dirt facility to what you see here. And these are big improvements. We have kennels, we have quarantine kennels, we have storage facilities for food, we have places where we can keep
So this is the charity that we are here supporting today, and Ms. Renee is going to talk a little bit about the costs and how you can help with your donation.
as you can tell from the last August till now, we had 160 dogs then, we have over 350 now. They're all microchipped, spayed and neutered, all at the expense of Warpaws. So as you can see up here, it's $125 or 185,000 dinar a day just to feed the dogs. That does not include water. Water is around 30,000 dinar a day. Donations, we don't get a lot of donations, but you know, a little bit goes a long way. Just 1,000 IQD will feed one dog, one meal a day. 7,000 will pay for one vaccine. Puppies receive 4 vaccines, adult dogs receive 3 vaccines, and these are vital for their survival. 1,000 IQD will pay for a block of ice. Starting Sunday, we receive 30 blocks of ice daily for the dogs. You know, in this weather, it's extremely hot. You see the shelter facility has little shading, and it's concreted. So, you know, we provide big swimming pools, and the blocks of ice, the dogs really do enjoy, but it's necessary. In our driveway, where people come and just drop dogs off, it kind of, I can't just ride by and not feed them. So those dogs, we have to actually carry, you know, 16 jugs of water out there every day, twice a day, so they can get fresh water, and we bring them food as well. They're also included in the spay-neuter program, so that's at our expense. $60 can spay or neuter a dog. They get a vaccine, they get microchip, and they get antibiotics for aftercare. The running cost of the shelter, between $12,000 and $15,000 a month, and that's just for 350 dogs. One thing I really want to stress to everyone is we receive a lot of calls every day. And it's not that we don't want to take the dogs. If it was up to me, I would take every dog. However, that amount of money, it's coming from the UK, and COVID has the world on its knees at the moment, so this is extremely difficult to come up with every month. So emergency cases only come in, and it's crippling us. But to have to tell people, no, I can't come take your dogs from your neighborhood, it's also very difficult for me to tell people that. You know, we try to go and see every call just to make sure everything is okay, and try to educate people on how they can care for the dogs that are in your neighborhood, because until a TNR program is actually initiated in this country, the problem will not go away, and it will only get worse. Dogs procreate every 6 months. A female will have a litter every 6 months. A litter of up to 10, 11 puppies, and at least 4 of those puppies will survive, and at least 3 of them will be female. And then every 6 months, they will have babies and babies. TNR is trap, neuter, release. It's essential that the government actually brings this program into place, because, like I said, your dog population is going to continue to grow rapidly. And the running cost of the shelter, as you see, is very expensive. You have over 200,000 street dogs in Kurdistan alone right now. So, do the math.
We have a hard exit for the Canadian ambassador, so I'll just say that Ms. Renee will be out in the foyer later to collect donations and talk more about the shelter. Thank you very much, and we're going to get started now. Thank you.
But I'm not even tired yet.
It's past your bedtime and you have school tomorrow.
But I'm not sleepy. I'm just going to stay awake the whole night.
Dulimini, you have to try to sleep. Astaghfirullah, it has been a long day for me and I need some rest too.
Please, Mom. Can you tell me a bedtime story?
Sure, what type of story do you want? Dragons, aliens, or maybe even a spooky jinn story?
No, please. Not another jinn story. Can you tell me about something they told us about in school today?
Sure, what did they talk about?
They said there was a time where everyone was getting sick from a virus and no one went outside and everyone wore masks. Is that really true? A pandemic?
Pandemic. It was a really long time ago and I was only a few years older than you are now. Are you sure you wouldn't like a spooky gin story instead?
No, please. Our teacher even told us that kids stopped going to school. Is that really true? You guys were so lucky.
It's true that we stopped going to school, but it wasn't true that we were lucky. It was like eating candy. If you have too much, your stomach will start to hurt.
Can you please tell me about it?
Well, I still remember the day everything shut down. I was talking to my English teacher, and neither one of us knew that practically the whole world has shut down. If I tell you about it, would you go to bed?
I promise.
Well, it was a really long time ago, but here's what I remember.
Hey, Mr. Charles.
Hi Sarah, how are you doing? Are you having a nice day so far?
Yep.
Did anything interesting happen today?
Not really. Some students from class went home early today, and some teachers acted really weird. They were checking their phones a lot.
Sarah, can we talk for a moment?
Okay.
Do you think I'm a good teacher?
Uh,
What I mean is, do you like me?
do I like us teacher?
Yes.
Are you sure you want to do this right now?
Yeah, it's just a quick yes or no question, right?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Not, no, I don't like you or think you're a good teacher. No, it's not just yes or no.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a complicated question, and I don't think we have the time to get into it right now. The rest of the class is probably on the way.
okay.
Where
Are
is
you-
you go first.
No, you go first.
Where do you think everyone is?
Not sure. I usually give them out 5 minutes before I'm as late. My phone has been vibrating nonstop with WhatsApp alerts. Why?
What?
Why is it a longer, more complicated answer? The question is simple. Do you think I'm a good teacher?
You actually asked 2 questions. You asked if I like you as a teacher, and you also asked if I think you're a good teacher. And those are 2 different questions.
Aren't they?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Not as in no, I'm answering the questions. No, they're not the same question.
Oh.
They're 2 different questions.
Okay, I guess I expect that.
Cool.
Cool. Actually, on second thought, I take back my question. Your questions, plural, both of them. I shouldn't have asked. I don't want to know anymore.
Well, if you didn't want to know, then why did you ask?
I shouldn't have asked. It's none of my business.
Well, it is kind of your business. I mean, it's by you, right?
I guess. I still shouldn't have asked. It was unprofessional, and I'm an adult. I'm sorry.
It's cool. Everyone's worried about people liking them.
I guess.
Yeah, us kind of should be worried.
What?
Huh?
You said I should be worried.
I mean,
Does that mean they don't like me?
what I meant to say was
I knew it.
that a bunch of other students don't like you.
A bunch of the students don't like me.
Oh yeah, most of the class can't stand you. Where is everyone? It looks like people are going home, but we still have class now. Maybe you should really check on those messages on your phone.
A bunch of the students can't stand me?
Yeah, they'd never tell it to your face.
Did they ever like me?
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the year they did.
What did I do wrong?
You started to sign that book for us to read, like for homework.
What?
Yeah, that's when a lot of mates switch from liking you to not liking you.
But I have to give you... So your opinion of me is directly tied to whether or not I give you homework.
Yeah, this doesn't come from me, it's the rest of the class.
But I have to give you work to do. It's my job. This is all so petty.
High school kids being petty? You don't say. Listen, I shouldn't be telling you this, but none of them actually read the book.
None of them read it.
None of them.
But we had discussions about it in class. It's impossible that none of them read it.
Mr. Charles, we're smart. Like, smarter than you. We just pretended that we read it and read some summaries from Google. but you think that we read it, and you always give us a good dinner classroom discussion.
And if it's so easy to cheat on my homework, then why don't they like me?
Well, they think you're not really teaching them anything.
What?
Yeah. They're not learning and reading stories, and the class is called English Language and Literature, so we should be learning and reading cool stories.
But they're not learning any of that because they're not doing any of the homework.
Hey, this doesn't come from me, the rest of the class.
I can't believe this. I sign a book for you to read for homework. You don't read it, you pretend you've read it, and then claim you're not learning anything about English literature.
Again, not me, everyone else.
I'm sorry I asked you those questions in the first place.
It's good. It's good that you know now. It's out in the open. Speaking of that, I never did answer your question. I would like to answer it now.
I don't think I want to know anymore.
I like you, but I don't think you're a good teacher.
Thanks.
You're likable, but you need to do a better job of making sure we do our work. With tests or quizzes or something, I don't know.
And if I give you a quiz and you got a C plus instead of an A, would you still like me?
Well, no, but you'd be a better teacher. You're not here for us to like you. You're here to teach us.
But students don't learn from people they don't like.
Wow, really? So it's impossible to be a teacher now? Why do you do it then?
Believe it or not, I actually love doing my job. I love working with students I can make a difference with. It makes me feel like my life has a point to it. Maybe I should really check those WhatsApp messages.
What's wrong?
Class is canceled, or should I say school is canceled. The government's worried about the spread of the coronavirus, so they're locking down schools in the region.
I guess I should go call my parents at the office.
I suppose this is goodbye then. No more pretending to know what's on the book.
I'll just leave my stuff in the locker. I can probably come get it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna be there for the whole year, right? Ha.
Mr. Charles, I'm still confused about one thing.
What's that?
In chapter 10, why did Sally feel bad about abandoning her stepmother when throughout the whole book this woman was nothing but nasty to her? I didn't understand how she would feel so guilty about it when her mother was acting like this. Personally, I would have left that woman's house by the end of chapter 3, but she was so guilty doing it. Why?
That's a great question. Why don't I answer that while we walk to the reception here?
Okay, you got your story and you promised you'd go to bed.
You promised to tell me about the
Pandemic. Well, that was the start of it.
but I didn't find out anything about it, and this was not the right story, and I'm not sleepy.
Well, it was a really long time ago. What does it matter?
Please, Mom, another story, but this time tell me what it was like.
Okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember that all of the restaurants and markets had closed down, and the only way we could get food was through delivery drivers. But since the virus spread from one person to another, we were scared of getting infected.
But at least half your schools were closed.
It wasn't only schools that closed down. Everything did. People stopped earning money to pay for things like food. I remember one night very vividly. Your grandmother and grandfather wouldn't let me go out and play with the other kids, just in case they were infected. And all the other kids were doing the same. So we were all looking out of the window. But on this one night, I did see something.
What happened?
I saw a delivery man on a little motorcycle. He greeted my neighbor, and I could tell from his accent that he was a foreigner. To be honest, we were all a little suspicious of foreigners that came outside of the country. I'm ashamed to admit, but it's not a nice story. You wanted a story, so here it goes. He parked his delivery motorcycle in front of the front gate and banged on the door.
باشه حاتم. Are you me? The absolute name was me. Yeah, just leave it there. Here. Thank you. Well?
Yes?
You can go now.
Well, I'm waiting, in case.
In case of what?
Well, I was counting up the money you gave me. You didn't pay for the delivery fee.
I paid for the food, didn't I?
You did. But these are tough times for us. The restaurant added delivery fee to help us out. You know, for our troubles.
I know how much Ishan costs. I've been eating at the restaurant for 5 years. I'm not paying for anything else.
Right. But the out here is being our help to make you food so you can eat safely in your home.
Whatever. What do you want, a medal?
I'm just saying that while you're safe in your home eating your meal, I'm not taking you to dozens of houses. Any one of them might be infected and I might get sick.
Isn't that your job? Don't you get paid for that?
Do you know how much the delivery driver gets paid?
I just want my food.
So what's stopping you?
You're standing in front of my gate.
Oh, I'm keeping my distance. I'm all about social distance. Look at how socially distanced I am.
Are you gonna let me get my food or not?
Are you really not going to pay the delivery fee? You're going to let me risk my life so you can eat your chicken shawarma with extra garlic sauce and roasted potatoes while sipping on your Pepsi and not pay me.
Bismillah. Here. Need money? Here, take it. Thank you for your service, brave Corona warrior.
Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, enjoy your 4,000 dinars and take the fires back where you brought it from.
What did you say to me?
You heard me.
I've lived here for the last 10 years. This virus has nothing to do with me.
Where do you think it came from? From the lab? Some lab in China, the wet markets? Who knows? Someone ate some bat soup and you foreigners brought back here with you from China, Iran, Syria, whatever. I don't care. All I know is that it's your fault. Nothing like this ever happened. We were fine before you all came here.
I'm only 19 years old. I lived here longer than any other place in my whole life. I'm a legal resident. I have an ikama. I haven't been anywhere in all this time.
But you are a foreigner.
Yes.
I just want to order some food because I'm scared to step foot outside my house. One minute they say it's fine, then they say everything's shut down. Then they say you don't have to wear a mask. Then they say you have to wear 2 masks. Then they say it's all a hoax. Then they say my uncle died from this thing. I don't know what to think anymore. I just know that I don't want me or my family to die from this thing. And maybe money's tight for me right now. Maybe my shop is closed because I'm not an essential person who can keep working anyways. All I know is that my family has to eat.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're sorry, but you had to lay a guilt trip on me. So can you go so I can get my food?
Here.
What?
Keep it. I don't want it.
No, it's yours. Take it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had all those issues. You can keep it.
No, you're right. Take it.
No, you keep it.
Take this money, I'm gonna shove it down your throat! I don't know how we end up like this.
Like what?
Like this. Everyone is scared, I'm scared. No one cares about anyone else anymore.
You think I like this?
When the refugees first came here, I supported them. I went to the restaurants, I called them brothers. We can't live like animals forever. We have to go outside, go shopping, see our friends, get a haircut. We can't live like this forever. I'm going crazy in here.
Become a delivery driver. You'll see loads of people, but I do not recommend it.
I'm sorry about what I said before. You know, about foreigners bringing the virus here. I am not usually the type of person to say something like that.
But you did say it. So exactly that type of person. You had it in you this whole time. You just needed the right push to get it out. There's so many of you.
So many of who?
So many of you who believe everything they read on social media. You believe every conspiracy theory about foreigners, yet you'll order shawarma on a Thursday night. When will you stop being so stupid?
Don't you call me stupid, you dirty foreigner. We have to kick all of you out to make you go back where you came from. We were much better before you all came. We let all of you in. This is all just a hoax, I bet. No worse than the common flu and the plus so that they can take over. Fake news. What are you doing?
Adding some authentic flavors from my country. No charge.
You put your germs all over my food. I'm calling the restaurant.
It doesn't matter. The restaurant is dead anyways. We have been losing money for months. We're weeks away from completely shutting down. This place is dead too. It just doesn't know it yet. Enjoy your meal.
Astaghfirullah.
Does he eat the food?
Actually, that part I do not remember. I do remember him staring at it for a very long time. He was a very honorable man, and seeing him like that really affected me.
It sounds like it was a pretty awful time. Maybe you guys weren't so lucky. But I definitely still like the part of schools being closed.
I suppose you two have to understand how mad that would be for me. Anyways, you got 2 stories and you promised to go to bed.
Oh, well, I am almost tired. And you told me a story about before the pandemic and one during. What happened after?
Once it was all over,
Yeah?
well, those were the happy times. We couldn't really travel while it was going on. So people just started going places once it was all over. I remember your uncles in America. They decided to go to Mexico, but they drove all the way to Canada instead. They were so happy to be going somewhere, I guess they didn't care where.
Can I hear it? Last one, the bedtime.
Well, you know how your uncles looked at Dynamite, they kept exaggerating. So I don't know if it actually happened like that. But I still love hearing that story. They were listening to loud British music.
I can't hear you! Here, yes. Finally we arrived. Turn off your engine, please. I'm sorry, officer. My brother Omar here loves this. Passports? Here. Are you guys meeting anyone here?
No, he's vegan, and I'm vegetarian.
We eat lamb if our mother cooks it, you know, out of respect.
Sir, answer the question properly. Where are you heading?
Is this a trick question?
What is your destination?
Mexico.
Sir, do you know this is the Canadian border?
You idiot! You've been holding the map upside down. I told you to use Google Maps.
Get out of the car, please.
Sorry, officer.
boys are lost.
I'm actually married and I have a 4-year-old son. Just saying, not a boy.
I can see that, Mr. Barzingay.
Please, Barzinji.
Right.
And this one here has a PhD in mechanical engineering.
Oh yeah? What kind of cars do you fix?
I don't know how to fix cars.
So what do you fix? Bombers?
He works in the oil field. He's an engineer.
Is that true, Mr. Barzingi?
Barzinji, yes. Look, it's our first vacation since this whole pandemic thing ended. And since his wife gave birth to a terrorist...
What did he just say?
Come on! He's talking about my son, Ahmed. He's only 4, not even in kindergarten yet.
Yeah, and no preschool would take that little shaitan. He climbs up straight walls, pulls pages off of books, and breaks stuff.
Please step back from the white line.
Okay.
Step back from the white line.
Come on, we haven't done anything.
I assure you, this is just a routine check. Mr. Bartinshi,
Barzinji, please.
I just need to ask you a few questions, that's all. You're a long way from Mexico. Name?
Mustafa Barzinji.
Address?
137 Stalwood Drive, apartment 101.
137 Stalwood Drive, apartment 102.
Brothers and neighbors?
Long story.
Well, our aunt lives in apartment 103. We check in on her, give her sweets, put on good max for her.
She likes Turkish dramas too.
Oh yeah, she loves that show, that Turkish show with the Sultan and his wives in the designer fields.
Kind of like Henry VIII, except the Sultan is a gentleman and he doesn't behead any of his
He
wives.
just keeps them in his palace.
But those women keep plotting. You see, that's why Henry VIII was smart. He got rid of them from the start.
Please step back from the white line. Purpose of visit to Canada.
Good times? I mean, come on, the pandemic is over. We just wanted to travel.
Biking, hiking, kidding around with
Canadians?
Do you know anyone in Canada?
the Canadian goose.
Have you received your COVID-19 vaccination?
We have taken all of the vaccinations.
Just in case one vaccine is better than the others. That way we're fully covered.
You took all the vaccines?
Yup.
Well, I personally like the Oxford vaccine. Not to be elitist, but
It is the vaccine for refined gentlemen.
Date of birth?
September 25th, 1984, 7 a.m.
September 25th, 1984, 7:05 a.m.
Twins?
Not by choice.
Well, he got the brains, but I got the looks.
Okay, last question. Race?
I'm sorry, but we actually don't know.
Our parents have always been very confused by it.
There's a chart in here that will tell us your race. Where was your father born?
Kurdistan?
Iraq.
And your mother?
In Diyarbakir, Turkey.
That means you are white?
We are white?
White? We're white!
We can do anything now!
Go anywhere!
Lots of things!
No more searches at the airport.
No more being pulled up by the police.
We can even go to a fancy restaurant and your wife can wear a hijab with pride. And we will still get seated right away.
And no one will look at us funny, call us racist names.
Because we are white.
But best of all, we can come to Canada with all our papers and be let in. Because sir and ma'am, we are white.
And you have no reason to keep us here.
Good day, Mr. Bazinji.
Thank you.
Good job, dude!
Alhamdulillah, I pray you never get to see days like these ever in your lifetime. I haven't thought about these days for the past few years, but thinking back about them now, it has taught us a lot about who we are. I never knew my teachers were insecure people. I always thought that they were inflammable giants, but in reality, they're just normal humans. And my classmates, I cannot believe the length they would go just to avoid work, when in reality, they should just accept the gift of education. None of us are simply born good or bad. We can be either depending on the situation. We don't live in a black and white world. And in a world gone mad, insanity is sanity. I don't think that actually happened.